Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to unbox this Cm.518 AR variant. So I just want to make a note on safety. Whether I'm disassembling, unboxing, chronoing, whatever it is I'm doing, I always make sure I'm in a completely safe environment. So that means most of my videos I'm always wearing eye protection just to make sure that my eyesight stays safe. Before I do that, I always make sure that there's no ammunition in any of the mags or in the gun itself. I make sure that the mags are unloaded and unwound to make sure that nothing can happen with that. Obviously, if I'm chronoing, then I've absolutely definitely got my eye protection on to protect myself. I even make sure that my batteries are removed and out of the way so that I know I'm in the safe environment. I also make sure that there's nobody else around as well either, so I'm always in a safest possible environment. If you are working with airsoft stuff, please make sure you do the same. Hi guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do like and subscribe because you'll be really helping me out. So today I've got another unboxing from all the stuff that we got in September, and there was a lot of it. Today it's the Cm.518, which has been requested by quite a few people, and quite a few people have then messaged me saying, can I do it sooner as an unboxing? So this is me filming it just off the back of coming out of COVID and dealing with COVID, so please bear with me if I do get a little bit coffee and spluttery. So it is our typical sort of budget box, sort of 60 odd sort of, is it £70 now, 60 something pounds maybe, you know, brown box with just a mark in there saying it's the 518 and it's the 1 joule version, which we'll have a look at in a second. So nothing special under there. Now I'm not going to lie, to start with, this was not my cup of tea, and it's really grown on me. So we've got our usual target safety information in there from Taiwan Gun. We've then got our chrono sheet, so it's doing sort of, that's 340, 322, 335, 336, so around 330 to 340, that's pretty good. So obviously we should be right spot on UK limits there, which is what we need out of it. There it is. Now this is actually growing on me a lot. I'm quite happy with this. So in the box then we get our 8.4 volt 1100 milliamp LiPo, which I will charge up and do the test firing with for rate of fire. We've then got our plastic high cap, which I will use for the test firing system stuff. And then we've got an EU style charger, again no use to me. And then we've got the 518 itself, which is quite a beast, I quite like it. And we've got a cleaning rod as well. So we'll get this stuff out of the way. So there she is. Now it's really grown on me. I've really come to like this sort of front end, this quite angry, aggressive, sort of bulky front end. It just reminds me of some of the recent AUG variants that have got the big chunky front ends on them. I just quite like it. It reminds me as well, the muzzle brake a little bit of the, is it AWS Diablo from, I want to say Resistance. I think it was based on a real gun as well. And I do quite like it. It's just a little bit different and something quirky. So you have got some Riz rail all the way along the top there, so you've got sort of Riz for days to mount whatever you want on it. You've also got integral but not movable Riz rails at the front here, just obviously meaning that you can mount a vert grip if you want it that far forward, or you can mount an optic or something like that. You've then also got M-lock all the way down these rails, so you've got quite a lot of M-lock there that if you want other things, you want them further back, you've got lots of availability there excuse me, to get extra rails on to add to furniture and whatever else you want on there, kitchen sink and things. Now slightly different to usual, what we find with these Riz units is, these rail units, is that they usually just have one screw at the back. This one's actually got two, so I would assume that's to help with stability, particularly with sort of the bulkier front end and things. But obviously I will do a separate disassembly of it. You've got your little flip up sights, which we find on most of these now. Most people I would assume are probably going to remove them, but they'll serve the purpose fairly well, at least until you get a red dot sight. And all of this, don't forget, is all external. Externally, it's all plastic. You know, and to be fair, There's a little tiny bit of movement, but not an awful lot. But it's really light. It's probably, I would have said it's probably 2 kilograms at the most, maybe. It feels really, really light. My son's got the 506 and runs it all day, and he's not the strongest of kids, and he, doesn't complain. This is a tad weightier than that, but looks-wise, I'm just loving that front end. Anyway, I digress. Plastic receiver then, just obviously the plain black plastic receiver that we get. It's not a working bolt release, it's just obviously you're going to have to hold the charging handle back to access the hop unit there, but it is the AR style hop unit, which is fine. We've got the plastic mag release with our plastic high cap, which I'll use for the test fire. The pistol grip is really, really comfortable. I really like what they've done with that. I like the shaping of it and the styling of it. It's really nice to hold in your hand. Then you've got charging handle, very plasticky. We've got our crane stock where the battery goes. Unfortunately, they've put this style of stock on it again, but it's not hard to repair. Just snap this bit off here. You can trim this top bit down and take these corners off here. It's quite easily done with some pliers, and then you've got loads of space. Otherwise, you could lead to some issues with your wiring getting nicked and caught, and it makes it really hard to get batteries in there. So just work the wiring out. Now, the wiring at this point looks quite nice and thick quality, which is good, but then it goes down to the normal Cyma style. What I have noticed is, I don't know how well you can see that down there, but it does look like it's got the blue plastic parts, air nozzle in there again, which is really good to see because they're a little bit better quality than the older Cyma stuff, and it shows that they're obviously up in the game for this sort of level of product. So we'll go to some footage now of it being fired, and then we'll come back and discuss how we think about it. Okay, so we didn't chrono it. We didn't have to chrono it because it's already been chronoed by them, and we're happy that it's sort of well between 330 and 340 FPS. Rate of fire then on a 7.4, you're looking at about 11 rounds a second, which is pretty respectable. A new upgraded high-speed motor, and that will jump up significantly. We've had great results out of the Kublai high-speed motors recently. On the 8.4 volt, the one that comes included with it then, we were getting about 13 rounds per second, which is really, really good. Obviously, slight performance boost. The only downside, as we say usually, is that is not going to last you a whole day. So you're going to either need a couple of those, or you're going to need to be very, very careful and not be too trigger happy like Pheas is. The 11 then, the 11.1 volt LiPo, we knew where that was going to go all the way. 18 rounds a second. Now, we did notice that at certain points, and you'll have seen some of the readings dropped a little bit. Part of that was to do with we didn't exactly keep the mag fully wound, but I would have said that's down to the mag itself, because the rate of fire didn't sound like it had dropped. So I assume that that's the mag itself just wasn't keeping up with the feeding. So the readings that we're taking is just over 11 for 7.4, just over 13 for the 8.4, and 18 rounds a second, or just over 18 rounds a second on the 11.1. Range-wise, I don't think it's performing quite as well as some of the others that we've had in terms of budget ones. This is just mine, though yours might be slightly different. It was sort of pushing out the sort of 35-ish metres range. I don't think it was quite getting out to 40 metres. Now, that could just be that the hop needs bedding in a little bit. That could just be that the barrel needed a good clean or whatever. But we just weren't quite getting out to 40 metres. Definitely 35. I was definitely getting out to 35. but I just don't think we were getting that last few meters to sort of make 40. And at 40, that's really where you should be looking at. Now, if I got this for longer, I would definitely go, or I weren't so unwell at the minute, I would definitely spend some time cleaning the barrel out and go back out and shoot it in and things. And I'm pretty sure that I'm solved most of the issue. Bare minimum, I would say that just feeding another couple of mags through it would definitely sharpen it up, and we'd get much better range out of it. Excuse me. Now again, it's evidence again that Cyma are just smashing this of like, you know, the build quality of it. It's not the nastiest plastic you've ever felt. You know, it's solid in there. You know, my son's still running, nearly 2 years in, I think it is, the 506, and the thing is still going strong, and it's been dropped and kicked about and tweaked and all sorts of things. You know, he's not careful with that gun, and it still works a treat and still looks good, and it's not broken. So I really can't complain. You know, if you're on a budget and you're looking for something cheap as a starter, or you're looking for something as a backup just in case your primary goes down, but you're on a budget, man, just invest your money. They are so worth it. You know, with the high cat, the looks of them as well, absolutely worth it overall. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I'm going to leave the usual pictures. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.